Welcome to Lawndale High School, along with Rufus Washington, Rashawn Haylock, and Sebastian Spencer. I'm Lou Stowers. This is the Channel 22 Game of the Week. The Cardinals are hosting the Hawthorne Cougars, another crosstown rivalry.
Absolutely. We saw one the other night, and this one promises to be just as exciting.
And we saw Lusinger just really hold Hawthorne to 7 points in the second quarter. Ben Wardup doesn't expect that to happen again.
No, he doesn't again. We know that it was a tough night for Miles Green, 6 for 16 from the free throw line, an equally bad night from the field. You can expect that he's going to come out pumped up, wanting to avenge that performance on Wednesday night.
Sebastian Spencer, the newest member of our Channel 22 sports crew. The Hawthorne Cougars shot 50% from the foul line. That could have made a big difference.
Yeah, that actually could have really made a big difference in that game because Lusinger entered the fourth quarter with a 20-point lead. So free throws make a big difference. And, you know, if they would have made those, they would have probably had a better chance of getting closer in that game. But you know what? Coach Wardup said they're going to focus a lot more on their offense and their defense opposed to just rambling on offense and getting one-on-one plays. They look to play a lot better tonight.
And let's talk about the Lawndale Cardinals. The first time we're going to have a chance to see them. Rashawn Haylock, Happy New Year to you. And Coach Glenn Marks has lost 8 seniors off of this Cardinal team.
Yeah, Happy New Year, partner. Absolutely. This is a very young, very inexperienced team. They're only 7-8 on the season so far, but more importantly, they've won 4 of their last 5. So this young team is starting to gain that experience. They're starting to come together, and they're starting to gel just in the nick of time. This is the last non-league tune-up before they get at it in Pioneer League play next week at El Segundo.
So what do you think? The Cougars going to get a little bit back after what the Olympians did to them on Tuesday?
I really think so, Lou. I think the Cougar experience is going to take advantage of Lawndale. But Coach Marks understands this. You know, his perspective coming in is we want to make a good showing. If we win, that's great. But given our inexperience, we just want to play well. He knows that this is a very good Hawthorne Cougar team.
Tip-offs right around the corner. The Cougars invading the Cardinal nest. Coming up next on Channel 22. Just before tip-off, the Cardinals and the Hawthorne Cougars shaking hands. Let's give you the starting lineups. The Hawthorne Cougars at 10-6. There we'll start with the number 3, Brandon Hood, at one guard. He's a 5'8" junior. Miles Green, another guard, the leading scorer on this team, 6 foot, 180-pound senior. Marcus Malone, the 6-foot senior, will be at forward. And Chris Ogueke, he will be a forward. And Jesse Leonos, he will start at one forward as well. We're underway here at Lawndale High School. Glad you could join us as the Cougars are coached by Ben Wardup in his 3rd year. Cardinals, as the Hawthorne Cougars have the ball, and we have a foul right away. Actually, we're going to go the other way.
Going to go the other way with a violation. The official down low calls. Our 2 officials for tonight's contest are Tim Greer and Jeff Taylor. Both we've also seen during the football season.
That's right. Shot taken, and the rebound is off to Miles Green. Shot was taken by Eric Gray Jr. Green passes it back to Hood, and he nails the 3-pointer.
So Brandon Hood gets off to the quick start tonight. Bit of a slow start and hit the outside jumper. We know that Hood is par excellence attacking the basket, but he gets the outside jumper to go on that play.
Ball is over to Chris Munoz and is stolen away. Here comes Hood. Hood going all the way for the layup, but the ball is blocked by Munoz. And let's introduce you to the Cardinals. Number 2, Roland Pearsall. He is one of the leading scorers, one of the leaders on this team, the 5'11" junior. The point guard, number 3, Lamar Young. Chris Munoz, the leading scorer, 6'2" junior, 16 points a game. Eric Gray Jr., another guard in the center, is number 34, Romeo Bryant at 6'4". Eric Gray turns it over after traveling with the ball.
And Eric Gray, another one of those guys that comes from the gridiron to the basketball court.
That's right. Also, I think Romeo Bryant, didn't he play football as well?
Yep.
Just underway. 6 minutes, 37 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Glad you joined us on Channel 22 Sports. And another playoff-type atmosphere with this.
Absolutely. Well, these crosstown rivals will do that. This one figures to be a much more competitive matchup than it was on Tuesday night with Lusinger and Hawthorne.
Chris Ogweke with the basket. And now Roland Pearsall has the basketball for the Cardinals. A three-point shot put up and just short by Munoz. The rebound is taken by the Cardinals, and back they come. I checked that, the Cougars, and back they come. Miles Green with a nice lean in, and actually, yeah, that was Miles Green wearing different color shoes tonight. Those are his roadies.
And Green, you know, we saw him in the warm-ups. I mean, he has his game face on. I mean, I wish you could see it. I mean, there was no smile, no laughter, no nothing. He cracked a bit of a smile at the Channel 22 crew, but that was about it.
Yeah, looked at him and I said, it's got to be the shoes. Yep. They worked on free throws, so said Coach Ben Wardup, but 0 for 1 on that, and a block from behind, and I do believe that's going to be a foul on Miles Green. As going to the line to shoot two will be Roland Pearsall.
And I wish we could see a replay. Look, got to tell you, if that's on Green, you'll see it there, man. That's all ball.
It is. I guess maybe the uniform's touched.
Sometimes the official gets, you know, it's hard to explain, but when you see it, it looks from their position a lot more aggressive than it was. But that was all ball by Miles Green on that play.
And that snaps the 7-0 run. Roland Pearson will get another shot. There you see Coach Ben Wardup looking very dapper tonight along the sideline. Glenn Marks is the head coach for the Lawndale Cardinals. Nicely done by Pearsall. He has 2 points, and so do the Cardinals with 5:50 left in the first quarter.
Pearsall, one of the few players with any experience on this team. They've got some guys who've never even played basketball, organized at least on this team.
3-point shot put up and off the mark by Hood, and the rebound is taken aggressively by Ogweke, and he misses his own shot. Almost got the rebound again, but Pearsall beats him to it. Pearsall all the way in. Wrong side rebound by Munoz, and we have a foul underneath, so the Cardinals being aggressive, and that's earning them trips to the line.
Cardinals thought there was a travel on the play. Well, actually there was.
Yeah,
we thought it was going to be a foul call for a second, and that's where the travel occurred.
So third turnover on the Cardinals. Full court pressure being employed by the Cardinals. Looks like they're in a man defense.
Well, that's one thing. That's what Coach Mark said they would play. I actually asked him that very question. What defense will you play tonight, Coach? And he indicated we're going to have to go man-to-man. With the personnel that we have, that's our best defensive option, which is pretty interesting because most teams, when they feel at a disadvantage personnel-wise, we will go to a zone defense. But they don't have enough size along the back line to play a zone.
That's a good point. The foul was on Marcus Malone, his first second team foul. And the Cougars appear to be in a 3-2 zone, 2-3 zone. Air ball shot, but the rebound is taken by Bryant, and wide open underneath is Pearsall for the Bunnies. And that's a 7-4 score, and a whistle on the floor. So the shot clock, yep. Shot clock reminder. Look at the pass underneath.
That's Pearsall with the basket. He's one of their key guys. The two names you hear most often tonight are Pearsall and Chris Munoz, number 10.
And Roland Pearsall had enough time for a burger, fries, and shake underneath the basket there. Hood makes the drive. Nice over-the-head pass and a nice finish by Malone.
Like you say, nice no-look over-the-head pass by Brandon Hood on that. He held the ball a long time, but made the right decision.
Pearsall drives and picks it up, being bothered from behind by Ogweke. So he just shoots up the three. Is it a three? Yes, it is. So Roland Pearsall feeling it on his floor with his first three, and now it's a 2-point ball game, Rufus.
Well, after being outscored 7-0, they've come back to outscore Hawthorne 7-2.
Skipped across to Lianos by Green. Now Hood with it. Being guarded up top and stolen away by Young. Lamar Young can't catch the ball and turns the ball over, but a nice defensive play by the youngster. Lamar Young, the 5'9" junior. Now he's one of these kids that really hasn't played a whole lot.
And again, that's something that inexperienced. Now, that's a good move there. Nice steal on his part. Couldn't gain control of it. So he gives it back over to the Cardinals, to the Cougars rather.
That's okay, 2 C words. Both wearing red, but the Cougars are wearing their red road uniforms. It's Miles Green, a nice shot. He has 4 points. 11-7 is our score. Pearsall drives in just off the mark, and the rebound comes to Ja'Cory Clark in the ball game for the first time. Not in the starting lineup tonight, but still getting in the first quarter.
Now, a guy to look at for the Cougars is going to be score that 3-pointer instead for Ja'Cory Clark.
That was a long 2 according to the scoreboard.
Okay.
And we have a whistle underneath.
And I'm trying to get in the guy we want to watch for as we see the replay here. Struggling to maintain control was Chris Munoz. For Lawndale is number 32, Aaron Key. He's the 6'6" senior, and he's one of the guys that Coach Marks was talking about. This kid has never really played.
And there he is there making his presence known. Looked like he's pretty athletic. As a 3-point shot by Paris Wright. Making up for what he didn't get done the other night. And hits his first shot of the night. Pearsall drives in and forces the foul. So he'll get 2 more shots at the line.
Well, you talk about a one-man band. Right now, that's what this Lawndale Cardinal team is, and that's going to make it tough going as you see Pearsall attacking the basket and drawing the contact.
Joseph Campbell with a personal, his first and the 4th team foul, 5th team foul. Roland Powell gets 2 more shots at the foul line. Just misses that one. And you look at number 30, there's Ben Ward up. You look at number 32 on the left block in the white jersey, and most high school coaches would salivate on it. That's number 12 across the aisle from him is number 32. Number 12 is Jason Lopez in for the first time. Eight points now for the Cardinals, and also 8 points for Pearsall. So it's Roland Pearsall, 8, the Cougars 16. Hood gets it up top to Brian Blackman. Hood drives the baseline and traveled with the ball. Did a little hopscotch step.
Exactly. An official underneath, right on top of the plate, makes the call. Goes the other way. And there it was.
So Aaron Key out of the ball game. Got a couple of minutes in the first quarter just to get his feet wet.
Great pass that time.
Underneath, and Lopez couldn't make the shot. Rebound is off and is buzzed out of bounds by Blackman. So a turnover again by the Cougars with 1:39 left in the first quarter. In the ball game for the first time, freshman Rolando Beckles. So quite a smorgasbord of players here, a wide variety of players for Lawndale. And Glenn Marks likes his team.
He likes his team. He knows that they are a young, inexperienced team. He's very realistic about what their possibilities are. But he says as long as we make improvement with each and every game, I'm worried less about wins and losses and more about improvement.
There you see the foul there, probably on Joseph Campbell.
Well, that was one of those pick'em situations. You had 3 Cougars in the area, and you take your choice.
Lamar Young, the 5'9" junior point guard, is the first Cardinal to have a point besides Pearsall. Makes it 16-9. Out of the ball game is Campbell. Back in is Malone. Got the sweet kiss off the iron, and it's 16-10. Scoreboard says 16-9.
And you're right, he had a pair. At least I thought it was 16-8.
3-point shot put up and off of the mark by Llanos. And the rebound comes off to Sergio Blandon. Now Beckles with it. Beckles had the ball stripped and stolen away by the Cougars, and back they come with under a minute left to go. Hood had the ball stripped away from him, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Cougar ball.
Looked like Beckles may have gotten a hand on that. We'll see him coming in. Yep, sure was.
Hood from the corner. That's an air ball. I don't know if anybody got a hand on it or not. But the ball goes into the hands of Lamar Young. Nice move, gets inside the paint and finishes it off with the left hand.
So this Cardinal team actually has put on a very impressive first quarter here. Even though they're down by 5, they're hanging tough.
16-11. I got it as 16-12, but we'll get it all straightened out. Now with the ball is Ja'Cory Clark, gets it over to Malone. Now Llanos back to Clark. Llanos. Now Hood has it with 1 second on the shot clock, and the shot clock buzzer came, and then a couple of seconds later the game clock went.
Should be about 1.5 on the game clock. Some folks are signaling 2. When I glanced up at it with when the shot clock went off, and that's what they put up, 1.5.
Let's go to Rashawn Haylock real quick.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. You know, we talked a little bit about it in the pregame about just how young and inexperienced this Lawndale team is. As a matter of fact, this team is new to each other. Half of this team didn't even play spring or summer league, and you add to that point guard Lamar Young and center Romeo Bryant. This is their first season playing with this group. And then Aaron Key, the big fella that we saw come off the bench, this is his first season playing organized basketball all together. So you talk to Marks, and he says that if a team as young and inexperienced as this, you expect them to come together maybe at the second half of the season or even next year, but he's not counting on that. He's hoping that this year is the year for this young group. Think about it this way. This team only has 2 seniors on their roster.
All right, thank you very much. As Ben Wardup talks to his Cougars. And like you said, not a bad showing by the Cardinals, just down by 4 at 16-12.
Well, first of all, they made the correction that you so duly noted that they had 12 points. And someone over there was in error through the process of telepathy. You conveyed your thoughts to them, and they appeared magically on the scoreboard.
Well, like my grandfather used to tell me, he may not always be right, but he's never wrong.
There you go. Coach Ward up there talking to his guys. And actually, Miles Green set out like the last 2 to 3 minutes in terms of game clock minutes of that quarter. A little surprised to see him on the bench that long. You would expect that he'll come out to start the second quarter, and yes, he does.
Leading all scorers, Roland Pearsall with 8 points, and leading the way for the Cougars, as you might expect, Miles Green with 4 points. Pretty even balanced scoring for the Cougars as the second quarter gets underway. Green has it, goes up and under, and is that a charge?
Yes, it is, and that's his second. So with just 8 seconds gone here in the second quarter, Miles Green picks up his second foul, a player control foul. We don't shoot free throws on player control foul, so Hawthorne will give up the ball to Lawndale. Missed opportunity there to extend their lead.
And they're just getting the perspiration off the floor. See, I think, guys usually don't think to bring towels or paper towels or napkins, kind of like the Channel 22 lunch crew.
Right.
Same thing goes on the sideline there. Had to go borrow a towel from somebody.
Well, what gets me is that it's always the official that has to do the house cleaning.
16-12 is our score. Ball bounced low, and it goes right into the hands of Marcus Malone. Hood has it from the foul line, won't go down, and the rebound is taken by Green.
Wow.
And a tough foul called on Chris Munoz. That'll be his first.
And you're right, Lou, that was a tough one on Chris, because got to tell you, see, look at Green dip the shoulder and let him get away with it on that one. Boy, that very easily could have been Green's third foul.
That's the second one on Munoz. And are they going to call that a shooting foul?
I didn't think he was in the act of shooting.
No,
it doesn't look like.
Llanos. There you see Glenn Marks, the head coach of the Cardinals. I want to thank him for talking to us before the game. Took a lot of time to talk to us.
Coach Marks a lot more talkative this year than he was last year.
As Miles Green finishes that off for 6 points. 18-12. Romeo Bryant has the ball knocked away from him. Llanos with it, trying to go all the way. Finger roll, but we have a blocking foul underneath, and that's on the freshman, Rolando Beckles.
Official Jeff Taylor with the call. Good call, by the way. As you see on the replay, the block against Beckles. Beckles extended a knee outside the frame of his body, and that's what drew the call. Folks will say, well, he was there. You can be there, but you can't do that.
And Jesse Llanos, Rufus, must be doing something good in practice, because he's just a sophomore. He got the start tonight, and here he is out again in the second quarter.
Well, he must have hit his free throws in practice, because I got a feeling that that'll get you in the lineup.
On this team, yeah, especially after the 24 for 48 night against Lusinger, and it dropped him down to 62%. Long three is nailed by Beckles.
Did anybody tell Beckles he was a freshman and shouldn't be doing that?
I think everybody but his coach. Malone gets it to Ogweke. Now Beckles with the rebound. Gets it in front as he lets his man get up from top, and Eric Gray gets his first bucket of the game. That was a nice play by Gray. Green.
And I'm sure you remember from football season, that's Eric Gray Jr. to you.
That's right.
That's a travel.
Young
That was a travel
with the ball.
Yep.
Young got the pass off, and Pearsall traveled with it. That's their sixth turnover. Yeah, that was 4 steps. That's an NBA. That's okay in the NBA. That was a Kobe Bryant move.
Exactly. But it's not okay in the South Bay.
As Miles Green goes up for the bucket, wanted the and one, but he'll get a try for 2 the old-fashioned way. And we have a timeout on the floor with 6:14 left in the second quarter, and the foul was on Romeo Bryant. That'll be his second and the 6th team foul. There you see Romeo with his back to us.
Again, another one of those guys that Rashawn talked about, Lou, that really has never played with this team. First year of organized ball, didn't play any summer ball. That's really tough. I mean, all these guys, that's where you work on the game. That's where you get better as a unit, playing summer ball, spring ball. And because none of them done that, that's going to have an impact over the course of the season. Because they're doing what we call OJT from the old days, on-the-job training.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of these kids are on Lawndale, but once they found out that Coach Marks is letting these guys run, people started to come into the building. So Green comes to the line to shoot 2. He is 0 for 1 tonight so far. That one right down the middle. (21-17), 6:14 left, and that one is just in and out. And Miles said, "Where's the lid on that thing?" Pearsall brings it down over to Young. Beckles for the long 3 that might have been partially tipped, I don't know, but Green comes with the rebound. Stutter steps in just a little too hard. Rebound is up and off as Ogweke will go to the line to shoot 2 after the offensive rebound.
Excellent ball handling by Green. You talk about putting on a show, and that was one of those, man, that went all the way down for him. That's a tough break for Green. I mean, you see that thing go down, go in the basket, just won't stay down.
Ogweke gets the ball to go down. He has 3 points, just a 42% free throw shooter. So again, the Cougars are getting a lot of chances at the line. I couldn't believe it when I counted up the totals. 48 shots against Lusinger from the foul line.
Wow, that's a lot of foul calls. And of course, we talked about that, and I talked with a couple of folks after the game, and the officials called that one particularly tight because they knew, again, a high rivalry game, one to maintain control of it.
Stolen by Miles Green, but the defense gets back, puts up the nice running jumper. That won't go down, and the rebound is off to Pearsall. Pearsall goes around Green, puts it up with the left hand. Nicely done. 10 points for Pearsall.
Green has struggled with that teardrop shot, Lou. And when you struggle with that, that's when you got to go to the basket and use the backboard.
Campbell over to Wright. Now Ogweke back over to Campbell. Green and Pearsall. Now Paris Wright. Nice pass underneath to Ogweke, and it's a jump ball. Good defensive play by Rolando Beckles.
Good defensive play by Beckles, and the possession arrow favors the Lawndale Cardinals, so they'll get the ball.
So 5:09 left in the first half. Cardinals keeping up with the more experienced Cougars. Sid Martin with the yellow submarine shoes.
And with Miles Green going off, Brandon Hood comes on. Rarely will you see both of them off the floor at the same time. Nice three-pointer.
Eric Gray Jr. And now it's a 1-point game, Rufus.
This Lawndale Cardinal team trying to avenge the loss by their JV team in an exciting game prior to this one.
That's right. Lawndale coming back to tie it up with under 10 seconds left. And then what happened?
And then what happened? Coast-to-coast play by the Hawthorne Cougar. Nobody checks him. He lays it in. Clock expires.
Out of the ball game is Blandon. In is Aaron Key for defensive purposes. The ball was knocked out of bounds. Now it's knocked out of bounds again. So we'll rack it up and do it over again.
All over, but looks to be a good coaching move that time by Coach Marks. He saw a matchup that he wanted, and he got it, and it pays off for him.
Ja'Cory Clark maybe with too quick of a shot with the complete shot clock.
Pearsall begging for the ball.
Young gets it to Gray inside the foul line. Won't go down. Rebound ripped out of the air by Martin. And now we have a tie-up, and the ball will stay in the hands of the Cardinals.
So again, those are the intangibles, Lou. That's hustle, that's effort, that's putting your nose in there. Those kind of things pay off, and it paid off with them getting a possession there. Let's see if they get a basket out of it. They don't, but they did get the extra possession.
Clark brings it across to Hood against the opposite number 3, Young. Now we're seeing a bit of a zone being employed by the Cardinals.
Well, it's tough, Lou, to play man-to-man an entire ball game for any basketball team at any level.
Yeah, do you think that maybe Coach Marks wanted to see what the Cougars had and what his Cardinals could do and then employ the zone?
Well, I think perhaps that's it. I think you're right on the mark. And what he's seen when he looks up and sees with 3:46 left in the first half, I'm only down by a point with an inexperienced team against a very good Hawthorne basketball team.
Well, one thing that surprised me when I saw the kids from Lawndale come out, the varsity team come out, is they have a little bit better length than I thought. Shot goes off the mark by Pearsall, and the rebound is taken by Ja'Cory Clark. Clark over to Hood. Hood underneath, and it just fumbles out of bounds as the Cougars turned it over again.
Hood's pass just a tad high for Chris Ogaki.
And Lamar Young bringing it across the line.
Wow.
Almost stolen away by Hood.
Well, almost mugged by Hood as well. Yeah.
Eric Gray Jr. going in against three Cardinals, and well, you just can't do that. There is no double wing on this offense.
Right. And Eric Gray Jr., that is, just ran right over the Cardinal defender, standing there to take the charge.
So that's Eric's second personal and the 8th team foul. And there you see the freshman Beckles. Miles Green with it, getting some pressure at midcourt from Pearsall. In the ball game now, Jalen Arnett for the Cardinals. From the baseline is Clark. Nicely done off the window.
Nice kiss off the glass by Clark. Turnover by the Cardinal. Brandon Hood picks it up.
Gets it back and can't make the little bunny. Miles Green chasing down the rebound. He puts it up. That's too hard. Clark, he finishes. A half a dozen.
Exactly. Clark finished. I was going to say nobody gets to more loose balls, though, than does Miles Green.
He was off after that ball just before it touched the ground. He's just got a nose for it.
It's a good call there. Looks like you got him coming over the top. That was Chris Ogaki with the foul. But after it was 23-22, Cougars have run off 4 quick points, extend their lead out to 5 to give themselves a little bit of breathing room.
Pearsall misses the first one. He has 10 points. So in a game like this, your foul shots are so important. Miles Green back in the ball game. There you see one of the best in the South Bay. The Lawndale Lady Cardinals, the Cougars, brought their road uniforms tonight. They're wearing their gold. We'll see them before the night's out. I'm sure they're going to be a shout out sometime tonight.
Somewhere along the way. We certainly saw it during the JV game again. Oh, wow. Wow.
Good bit of acting on that one.
Excellent. Excellent piece of acting. Oscar, award-winning acting, and that's the 3rd foul. Boom. And what a lot of folks don't know, he sold it. You can actually call it technical on a flighty flop at the high school level. But boy, that takes Miles Green out of the game with 2:18 as he picks up his 3rd foul here in the first half.
That was Roland Pearsall. According to this,
Pearsall's a good player, man. You know.
Yeah. According to the scoreboard, it's his 4th.
No, that's wrong. That I can tell you.
Now, even Coach Ward held up 4 fingers. I thought it was 3 myself. We'll have to check that at the half.
Right.
Bringing it across the line is Young, being guarded by Hood, stops and pops, and it's blocked partially by Hood and taken away by the Cougars. Hood with it, being double teamed now. Good defense by the Cardinals. Give and go back to Hood, puts it up and in.
And it's going to be up to Brandon Hood to lead this team, and he is indeed one of the leaders as it is, and now he has to completely take over.
Ogweke with the rebound, gets it to Hood with 1:44 left to go. Almost lost it. Now gets it underneath. Nicely done, the finish to Ogweke.
Good look by Brandon Hood, though. That's the key as he rolled toward the basket. There must be something in that area. Once again, you see them clean the floor. I don't know whether it's the floor sweating over there, whether there's something coming in off the ceiling or what, but they've cleaned that particular spot now 3 or 4 times already.
An 8-0 run being put up by the Cougars since the 3-point shot by Gray Jr. You know, we did have a lot of rain here, so and that the wall is on the outside. Who knows? The water may be tabling underneath the building and coming up.
It could be, because no one even hit the floor. I mean, you didn't get the, moisture from somebody's sweat on the floor. Wow.
That's an excuse me rear ender, like on the 405.
Exactly.
So Clark?
Yep. No, Ja'Cory Clark with the foul. I mean, and in Ja'Cory's mind, it's like, well, wait a second. I was just standing there, you know.
He's the one who stopped.
Right.
Well, in California, it's a rear ender law. And now Pearsall has missed 3 in a row. Bryant, check that, Key is in. Out of the game is Gray Jr. and Munoz.
Now what you just saw, Lou, is one of those little fundamentals of an inexperienced team. Unfortunately, Pearsall bails them out by hitting a free throw. You know, they aren't putting the requisite number of players on the line for free throws along the rebounding line to give themselves a chance if there's a miss to get the ball. And that's the second time they've made that mental mistake tonight.
Blackman gets tied up underneath by Pearsall, and the possession arrow faces the Cougars. So with 1:11 left in the first half, Hawthorne, with one of their biggest leads of the night, did have a 7-0 lead to start things off, and they have a 7-point lead again. Had a 9-point lead at one point.
And the real key is that at one point here in the second quarter, it was a 22-23 game. So they've gone on an 8-2 run against this Cardinal team.
As Young brings it across, being guarded by Llanos. Pearsall with it, goes against Hood. Gets it back out to Young. Under a minute left in the half. Defensive play by Ogweke as Young dribbled the ball off of his leg and out of bounds. It'll be Cardinal ball.
19 on the shot clock, 52 on the game clock, so there's plenty of time for the Cardinals to make a play. They don't have to rush here.
Munoz drives, kicks it back out to Gray Jr. Gets open, but the shot is short. Feed to Hood, has a lot of traffic and bounds it off the backboard, the back of the back door. That's an automatic turnover.
Exactly. Well, Hood got hung up in the air, as you can see, left his feet with the ball still in his hand, not in a shooting attempt. One of those basics that you're always told, never leave your feet to make a pass.
Under 35 seconds left in the half. Good defense shown by the Cardinals last time down. Pearsall, nice move to get around Hood.
And that's a college-style move there by Pearsall.
Within 5 now, 20 seconds left on the clock. Shot clock is dark.
Fans hollering no foul. Actually, I would.
And Young stole the ball away from Hood, and now Munoz will earn his way to the line for 2. Good defense by the Cardinals. He's past a minute and a half.
Excellent defense, and on that play, as you see here, boy, they trapped Brandon Hood against the sideline, so that's an extra defender there for him. And I believe they gave that, well, did they give the foul to Hood? They put the foul on number 1, and there's no number 1 on the roster. Is that Jesse? Jesse Llanos.
And Munoz, believe it or not, the leading scorer of this
foul.
team.
Yeah, it's okay, I got you.
The leading scorer of this team just gets his first point of the game, Rufus. Now, did he? I thought he made.
Did.
Did he make 2 or 1?
You know what? I looked away like you. I saw him make the second one. They put 31-27 up on the scoreboard.
Okay, well.
Of course, they've been wrong before.
That's true. Here comes Hood with 10 seconds left to go. Puts it up early and hits the deck. And he'll get 2 shots. Pearsall with his first personal. No, it can't be Pearsall. That's got to be Sergio Blandon.
And Blandon again, as you saw in the replay, tough foul for him to take because he was actually giving ground, trying to get out of the way.
So Brandon Hood, his first foul shot is up and in. Back in the ball game, Ja'Cory Clark to get some height in there in the backcourt for the Cougars.
Well, we're seeing some heck of a coaching tonight, Lou, because they're making possession substitutions.
Second one is good. 4 points for Hood. Beckles with the long 3, just in and out for the freshman. Well, that would have lit up the crowd.
It certainly would have, because it would have drawn the Cardinals to within 3. However, they'll go into the locker room down by 6 at 33-27. But you got to say, if you look at both teams and you go, well, who's doing better? For my money right now, Lawndale Cardinals have played a better game, even though the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, than have the Hawthorne Cougars.
Now let's go over to Sebastian Spencer.
I'm here with Coach Warda for the Hawthorne Cougars. Coach, what do you guys look to improve in that second half to make sure you guys keep this lead going?
Lawndale is doing an excellent job of getting up the floor quickly. We've got to get back defensively more quickly. I like how we're running our offense. Once we get them to half court, I feel confident. But they're really running the ball up that floor quickly. We got to get back in defensive transition.
Seems like Miles is having a tough time again tonight, so it looks like your boy, the one who you wanted to step up, Ja'Cory, is really stepping up to the plate. So what do you say about that?
You know, when Ja'Cory's playing well, that gives us a third score, and that's really helping us. We gotta be careful with Miles with 4 going into the second half, but we're gonna be okay.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. There you go. Back to you, Lou.
All right, thanks, Sebastian, and we'll be back. We'll give you the unofficial stats and the second half of play right after this on Channel 22. Second half underway as the Cardinals have the ball to start off the second half. Bounce down low, going to the half-court game. Gray Jr. misses the shot, but the rebound up by Young and put up and in. So now it's a 1-point game, actually a 4-point game.
Cardinals just showing no quit whatsoever. This team is becoming energized again. And they still have plenty of opportunity to win. My first question to you would be this as we start the second half. Were they correct on the fouls that Miles Green has 4 fouls?
That's one thing I didn't check on. You know, maybe one of our sideline reporters can check on that, Rashawn or Sebastian. But was more concerned about the score on the last couple of free throws. And long three-pointer put up by Hood, and terrific defense by the Cardinals.
Exactly, because that three-pointer was simply an attempt to beat the shot clock. And he didn't even draw iron on it. Hood's second air ball of the game.
Well, Miles Green is not out there to start the second half, so maybe he does have 4.
That would seem to be an indication.
As the Cougars come back down. Clark with it, being guarded by Gray Jr. Ogweke back out to Clark. Off the mark with the line drive, and ball hits the end line. Or we got a over-the-top foul?
Yeah, he gave a foul call on Marcus Malone.
Should be his second. Well, I'm really behind.
Well, they've got number 13 there, but Malone has.
I thought it was this. Well,
right. Malone has jersey 15, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. They gave it to Campbell, who is not out there.
Right.
Okay. If that's true, then Malone has his 3rd foul. as Malone puts it up and in on the offensive rebound, and he has his 4th point.
And if that's true, they also gave, like you said, they gave it to a guy who's not out there, which gives me all the more reason to believe that Miles Green perhaps doesn't have 4 fouls.
Offensive foul on Pearsall as he roughed up the man underneath Clark. And that's Rowland's first personal and the first team foul. So maybe if somebody in the truck can get word to Rashawn or Sebastian, we need a little help. And the Cougars have it with a 6-point lead here in the 3rd quarter. And a nice steal by Gray Jr. Watch him fly in and blow the layup.
Now, that'll get you on ESPN on Sports Center.
Not for the good things. And a nice finish by Ogweke, who now has 8 points. And is that a timeout call? 30-second timeout called by the Cougars.
And Eric Gray on that play, Eric Gray Jr., that is, got caught in between trying to decide whether to lay it up or to dunk it. That's what happened. And as a result, unable to make the play.
So it's now been extended to a full timeout. Leading scorer for the Cardinals, Roland Pearsall with 14 points in the first half. Lamar Young now with 6 points, had 4 in the first half. Chris Munoz only 1 point, the leading scorer for the Cardinals. Rolando Beckles with 3, Eric Gray Jr. with 5, and for 27 in the first half. And Brandon Hood with 4 points in the first half for the Cardinals, 7 for Miles Green. And we're going to find out. He does have 4. Sebastian Spencer telling us that Miles Green does have 4 fouls. Marcus Malone with 4 points after that bucket. And 8 points now for Chris Ogweke, 6 points for Ja'Cory Clark, and 2 for Jesse Leanos.
And I got to tell you, you and I watch this game like hawks. One of Green's fouls got away from us. You know, they say it's 4, so it's 4. But well, I sure didn't see that 4th one. I kept track of 3. There was one that happened that apparently we just missed.
5:06 left to go. Now we have a foul. And that's on Brandon Hood. That should be his first. Second team foul. So playing a little too close on the defense.
And that's not bad for a guy that's a defensive demon like Brandon Hood to be here in the 3rd quarter and only have 1 foul.
Well, he's so quick, and I just saw him use the body as best he could away from the official, kind of do a little hook and hold. It's good work if you can get away with it.
Exactly, and look, I mean, he's a ball hawk. He's on top of his guy. He doesn't play off, you know. Some guys play defense a foot away. He plays defense about an inch away.
And Young took a little bunny step before moving on, and that's the 10th turnover unofficially by, there you see it. It's not bad if you go left and then right, but to lift up the feet, you give up the pivot foot. Brandon Hood against Young. Ball stolen away by Pearsall. And a little slow dance there by Tim Greer and Roland Pearsall.
And that'll happen to you once in a while as an official, be it football, basketball, baseball. You get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But everybody's okay, and that's the good news. 4:25 left to go in the 3rd quarter. An 8-point Cougar lead. Hood on the run with the give and go, and that one just missed. The rebound is off, and back comes Munoz. Cougars get back on defense in a hurry. Munoz drives, and a foul called underneath.
It's going to be against the Cougars. A lot of hands in there. Looks like they may have gotten the defender there.
Got
Number
Paris.
4 Paris, right.
third team foul, first personal. You know, that may be where one of those fouls got away, because I had him already marked down for a foul. Long three-point shot is an air ball, and the Cardinal faithful let him know about it. Ball is stolen away. Paris Wright has the ball stolen back by Gray Jr. and now goes out of bounds. And
They'll have to go to the possession arrow, because neither official could see exactly how the out of bounds was caused and who was the last to touch it. And that's what you do. When you don't know, you just go to the arrow. Arrow favors the Hawthorne Cougars, and they'll switch it on the inbound play.
Clark gets the inbound pass going up against Blandon. Paris Wright with the quick feet. Clark over to Malone. Off the mark, rebound, still volleyball, and Clark with it. Lots of traffic and hitting, and ball goes out of bounds, and the Cardinals get it. And there's going to be a lot of bumps and bruises tomorrow morning.
A lot of bumps and bruises. Officials allowing a little bit of extra contact tonight, shall we say.
3:32 left in the third quarter. As the third quarter, Rufus, just kind of got off to a wobbly start for both teams.
A wobbly start, Lou. There have only been 6 total points scored in the quarter. Hawthorne has scored 4, and Lawndale has scored 2, and we're only 3:32 left here in the third. Over half the quarter has expired with only 6 points being put up by both teams combined.
There you see the Lawndale Spirit Squad. Had a 2-girl dance crew, and they were being cheered on by the opposite side, the Hawthorne girls. So that's one thing you notice about the girls' squads. They'll cheer each other on. The opposite sides even join in sometimes.
Yep, and we saw that during football season.
3:25 left to go in the third quarter. Cardinals looking to dig in on this lead. Gray Jr. trying to go against Malone, and does, blocked from behind by Malone. And a foul called on Malone.
Foul called on Malone, but we see on the replay, boy, he got a lot of ball, must have got it with the body as well. You'll see the replay here. Looks like body up top was what made the difference.
All right, now I'm really confused. Okay, two fouls according to the official score on Malone. Gray Jr. misses the first one. He did not have a free throw in the first half. As you saw the replay on the nice block by Malone, but got too much of Gray Jr.
Gray Jr. makes 1 out of 2, makes it a 7-point game at 37-30 in favor of the Cougars.
So it's still an interesting game, a lot of time left. And now, too close of a defense put on by the Cardinals.
And the Cardinal defense draws the offensive foul on Brian Blackman. And this has been a relatively quiet quarter for Pearsall, Lou, and as you say, the quiet night for Munoz as well.
So Blackman called for the foul. That's his first personal, and the 5th team foul. And was doing my bookkeeping and didn't get a chance to see what happened there.
Well, it looks like it was a turnover against Lawndale. And now Cougars almost give it back.
Leanos with it, shovels it underneath to Campbell, who fell down, but picked back by the offense and picked up by Blackman. Down underneath to Campbell, has a guy on top of him, that's Gray Jr., and so Joseph Campbell will go to the line for 2 as the foul goes on Eric Gray Jr. That should be his 3rd personal.
And actually not a bad foul. Gray Jr. lucky that He didn't score the basket because, quite frankly, he should have been a little more aggressive. And, boy, there you see Coach James Swain in the steal shot. He, of course, the athletic director over at Hawthorne.
So the foul shot is up and in by Campbell. That's his first point of the game. Good to see him. Also good to see Alex Rios, the athletic director here at Lawndale High School, and Alex Acosta. Alex Rios, of course, third baseman for the Cincinnati Reds.
And Coach Rios, you were thinking of, former coach before Coach Warnock at Hawthorne.
There you go. And the Rios runs through it. Rebound taken by Hood, and back come the Cougars in fifth year. And nice layup and in.
And I say it all the time, that's when Brandon Hood is at his best, attacking the basket.
As he went coast to coast. So mention to Alex Acosta that he looks as relaxed as I've seen him in the 6 years I've been around. And he says, heck, after 27 years of coaching, who wouldn't be relaxed?
Exactly. Now, but Coach Acosta had a special gift for scheduling. I mean, by now, he'd already had 14 wins in the books. Yeah.
Ball is passed out of bounds by Pearsall, trying to hit Marcus Millam underneath.
Another turnover that the Cardinal can ill afford. This is two possessions. They've come down and wasted. They got within 7 at 37-30, and they've been stuck on that 30 for a while, and now they're down by 10.
Hood. Now over to Clark for 3. He has 9, just like that, Rufus. And it's a 13-point lead, easily the biggest lead for the Cougars. They're starting to pull away. Beckles with it in the corner, and he's fouled from behind by Malone. And he'll get the 1-and-1.
And think about it, Lou. Hawthorne has done all this damage with, it was a 6-point lead at the half. They've extended it to 13, so they've doubled the lead. And this whole quarter, Miles Green, because of the 4 fouls, has been on the bench.
And still on the bench, and who knows? Well, I'm sure he'll get back in the fourth quarter as Beckles misses that first front end of the 1-and-1. Rebounded by the Cougars, and back comes Clark running the point now. As Hood almost had the ball stolen. Clark gets it back for 3. That would have been a backbreaker. But the Cougars get the offensive rebound. Hood shot no. Ogweke tried to get the rebound, but Beckles comes down with it. Here comes Young. Young.
That's a charge.
And that is a block call. As Jesse Leanos was there in position, he was waiting for it.
Jeff Taylor says, nah. Let's see what Jeff Taylor saw here. Boy.
Okay. So going to the line is Lamar Young with 6 points.
Perhaps imperceptibly to us was a little bit of movement on the part of number 24. Excuse me, not 24, but of the Cougar defender.
Yeah.
Leonis.
Number 24. In the ball game now is Jason Lopez. As Leonis maybe just kind of turned his shoulder and slid his left foot. He saw that train coming. And Lamar Young can't make the foul shots. And it remains a 13-point lead. That foul is on Millen. That's the third team foul. Clark going against Pearsall. Screen put up by the Cougar offense. Hood with it, 35 seconds left, drives the paint, fall away, won't go down for him. Rebound is still being fought for and taken by Lopez.
Plenty of time for the Cardinal now. Shot clock off. Brandon Hood's going to draw the foul. That's going to send Pearsall to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
And that was a silly foul.
You know, some folks come to the game just to walk across our broadcast position, bag for bag. I'm not even sure she sat down 2 minutes the whole game.
Project Runway. Well, you know. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. You got to show it off.
Whatever way you can get on TV, mama's little girl, you go for it.
Ja'Cory Clark misses the easy bunny, and now a travel called on Marcus Millam after he gets the rebound. So 12.5 seconds left and a huge turnover. There we see the rebound, and there's the steps.
If you're Lawndale, you almost want Miles Green to be in the game. Now watch and see if they don't attack him offensively when he comes in, simply because they know he has the 4 fouls and has to give ground.
Clark with it with 3 seconds left. The shot is taken and blocked by Key. And stolen back by Clark, but the shot does not count to end the quarter. And it's a 13-point Hawthorne lead as we go to the 4th quarter. And why don't we take a quick timeout on Channel 22. Wow. A 3-point quarter.
3-point quarter. That won't get it done.
Okay. Back here at Lawndale High School, the Cardinals trailing Hawthorne by 13 points. There's Ben Wardup telling his guys, what is he telling his guys?
Well, what he's saying is just keep doing what we're doing, guys. Hey, we extended our lead in that quarter. We started the quarter with a 6-point lead. They extended it to 10. Not an offensive explosion for them either, as they only scored 10 points. But hey, it was enough to play defense. That's the key. Sometimes it's not how much you score, it's how much you keep the other team from scoring. And they held the Cardinals to only 3 points in the whole 8-minute period.
And a lot of missed foul shots by the Cardinals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 they missed. Pearsall, and a lot of shots like that as well. As Brandon Hood goes through, nice pass to Miles Green in the ball game, puts it up and in. So Miles with 9 points now. Pearsall.
That's a block. Wow.
Let's go to Rashawn Haylock.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'm sure you've noticed Roland Pearsall, guard for Lawndale, is playing a lot more off the ball tonight than he did last season. That's been his role so far this season. I asked Coach Glenn Marks about it, and he said, well, we need Roland to score. We're short on scoring in the front court, so that's been more of his role this season. He's doing his best tonight, guys, but Lawndale overall having a tough time.
And now it's even tougher as Roland Pearsall is down on the deck, being attended to by his coach, holding his right ankle. May have slipped on that wet spot underneath the basket.
And you're right, boy. And that's a 3-pointer by Miles Green. That makes it an 18-point game. And Coach Marks has to be thinking timeout pretty soon.
And with his concern on Pearsall, as he's going to go maybe get it checked on in the locker room, but a big 3-point answer by Chris Munoz. They need that kid to get going. He only has 4 points, Rufus.
And just as you said earlier, looks like.
And they only credit him with a 2-point shot. And a timeout now is called. Thought that was a 3 for sure. Okay, we'll change that to a 2-point shot.
And Hawthorne calls the timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. Coach Wardoff, everybody can sense it just a little bit of a run perhaps coming by the Cardinal that decides to stop it right there and talk to his guys. But more importantly, Miles Green came out and he hit a big three-pointer to get started. He's wanting to have at least a big fourth quarter because he's been handcuffed most of the game with those 4 fouls.
Well, he needs 8 to keep his average up to 20, so he doesn't have to change anything on his resume.
Exactly. Well, he's going to have to change the number of shots that he takes and misses during the game pretty soon.
7 minutes, 9 seconds left to go in this one. A 16-point Cougar lead. Lianos gets it to Green. Drives, spins, puts it up, and makes it, and one. 14 points for Miles Green. Gets a little hug from Brandon Hood.
And you see that look on him once again. As I told you, he's got his game face working.
Now if he can just work on those.
And for him to get serious consideration at the next level, Lou, he has to work on those.
Lamar Young, the point guard, gets it to Gray Jr. Thought about pulling up for the 3. 6:50 left to go as Lopez lets it go, and the rebound is put up and in nicely by Munoz.
Munoz, excellent follow. 16-point game at 50-34.
And a travel called on Ogweke. Chris Ogweke, the 5'11 senior. And it goes back into the hands of the Cardinals. And they just need to get a nice little run going as the defense of the Cougars is heating up.
Oh,
Bryant
that's a travel.
walks halfway back to Hawthorne High School.
Exactly. Wow.
He would have been called for movement on the front line.
Right.
For false start.
Yep.
So 5 yards against the Cardinals, and now the Cougars take over. Ogweke gives it to Hood for 3. That's short. And rebound off to Munoz, and back come the Cardinals with 6:05 left in the fourth quarter. 3-point shot put up and hard off the glass by Young. Somebody get out the glue gun. I think that one broke the backboard.
Wow.
Baseball
Good
pass.
By Green.
Ogweke gets it and puts it up and in. How do you get a handle on that one? 10 points by Ogweke, and 54-34. Let's go to Rashawn.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. You know, we were just talking about Roland Pearsall. He has a sprained ankle already. He retweaked it. He's on the sidelines right now begging and pleading with the coaches to let him back in the game, but it looks like he's going to be done for tonight, guys.
As he's there, you see the shot of him getting ice put on it right now. That's a good indicator that his night is done. Yep.
That and when you take the shoe off, you're right. The ice bag and the shoe off, put those two things together.
Okay.
And now you have the cheerleaders. You called it earlier, Lou. The cheerleaders have gotten into a battle.
Here we got the shout out going. We got the cheerleaders coming on the floor, doing their thing. And there's Pearsall getting iced up. And they're holding up.
Well, they're holding up zeros. Maybe Rashawn can find out what the significance of the zeros by the
It's like Dancing with the Stars. The Hawthorne cheerleaders did a little dance, and then the Lawndale cheerleaders put up zeros. Meanwhile, it was 0 on that shot. Get it?
Okay. Not one of the shows I watch.
I'm sorry I got to explain this pop culture to you.
I see that. I mean, I was completely lost. I had no idea.
Only the #1 show in the land. But that's okay. I understand that you have 2 left feet.
Well, you got that right. That's why, trust me, I don't watch it now. We've got another timeout, a 32nd timeout being taken by Coach Glenn Marks as he sees this game start to get away from him a little bit. They're down by 20 at 54-34.
Now Rashawn's laughing. So it's a Dancing with the Stars thing, right? Well, go do a report or something. Go make yourself useful. Don't tell me. Rashawn's over here trying to crawl up inside of my lap here. There's the Lawndale girls. And you know what? The Lawndale girls, they've made some improvements too in their spirit squad.
They have as well. And this is great to see. It really is. This is what high school sports is all about. I tell you, man, I can do this another 20 years. All it does is keep you young.
You got that right. So Rashawn Haylock, let's find out what all the commotion's about.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Rufus, you asked for it. I shall deliver. There's some competitive banter going on back and forth between the cheerleaders. So on the Lawndale side, they're talking about the Hawthorne cheerleaders and the backflips that they were doing during the timeouts. They give them a -0. That's the score. Tougher than the Russian judges, guys.
And there's a +2 for Miles Green now with 16 points and a whistle. So a -0 for the Cougars.
Miles Green with a nice layup, coming back the other way to get Brandon Hood for the foul. He made the steal attempt. They say drew a little too much contact, so that's going to send to the line Marcus Miller to shoot a pair since they're now in the double bonus.
Millam gets his first point of the ball game. Now he earns another shot. So 57-35 is our score now. And Millam has a chance to get on the board again.
Millam bears a striking resemblance to David Allen Greer.
Wonder if there's any relation to Tim Greer. So 2 points for Millam and an 11-point lead for Hawthorne. Ball out of bounds. Cougars will take it. Ogweke gets it to Clark with 5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Now Campbell with it against Key. Nice defense by Key. Hood was wide open but waited for Green, who stutter stepped and traveled.
Feet started moving before his mind started moving in terms of the move that he was going to make.
There it is. The little stutter step. So the ball turned over to the Cardinals. Time's running out. They still have a chance though. Nice shot off the glass. Nicely done by Millam. He's getting comfy out there in the fourth quarter.
He certainly is. And Millam's a 5'8" junior.
Has 4 points all here in the fourth quarter. Started off with getting the rust off with the free throws. As for Corey Clark to see big Aaron Key guarding him. A long two-pointer. No, that's a three-pointer by Brandon Hood. And he has 10 points, Rufus.
And with 4 minutes left and they're down by 22, that's just about the last nail in the coffin.
Bryant kicks it across to Millam and stolen away by Green. Just picked his pocket. Let's watch him go. 18 by Miles Green. 62-38, and about the only question is Miles Green going to stick around long enough to get his 20? And a shot taken and put up and in, and that was by Romeo Bryant, his first points of the game.
Well, a couple of trips ago, you said he was only 6 off. He's got to be awfully close right about now.
18 points by my unofficial count. Here comes the try, and that's off the mark. Thought he had it. That was wide right. Rebound to Millam, who's been Mr. Fourth Quarter here. Jason Lopez getting a lot of playing time as well. And Glenn Marks wants a timeout. He wants a full timeout. As Ben Wardup is going to clear his bench.
Yeah, he's going to give a bunch of guys some playing time here. But we have to get a scorecard to figure out who all these guys are, because you're going down to the end of the bench.
So there you see Roland Pearsall with his ankle raised up in the air. And almost see his ankle raised up in the air. So do you leave Green in to get his 20? or do you clear the bench and not rub the Cardinals' nose in it? Or
well,
beat,
I
as it
think you
were?
clear the bench. I think that's one of those type things. Coach Wardoff at the right time will give consideration to those sort of things as the season goes along and you get into senior night and other kinds of records. I mean, there's no record associated with it. And he also knows this is a great opportunity, again, to get some other guys some PT. Because the one thing about it, a kid cannot help you if he doesn't get any playing time on the court to get a game feel.
That's
Now,
true.
on the other side of the equation, Lou, this game is not playing out the way that Coach Glenn Marks had hoped it would. He had hoped that his team would be competitive, all right, in this contest. And quite frankly, the competitive spirit has just about been taken out of them as they trail by 22.
Jalen Arnett with a long three. That won't go down. Rebound is off. Taken by Devin Chambers or Devon. So Chambers in the ball game. Also number 20, is that? I don't think I have a number 20.
Nope.
Somebody brought up from the JV maybe.
Farmer Guerrero, number 0. We'll see if we can get them all in. Just go for it. These guys would love to hear their name called on Channel 22, Lou.
Josh Ortiz and Sid Martin also in the game. This shot won't go down. And by Chambers. And Millam has his shot blocked. Ortiz puts it up and in. Or Lopez, excuse me. 62-42, and that was Jason Lopez's first points of the game. Martin with the 3, or that was a long 2, and Millam comes down with it.
See, Martin decides, hey, I'm going to get me a shot at this thing while I'm out here. And let me have a foul to go with that shot if you don't mind, Mr. Referee.
So that foul is going to go on Sid Martin. Is that from the Martin clan?
There you go. Making sure I got that I've got a line in the playbook. Now, I'm going to guess. I don't know this for sure, but I'm going to guess. Looking at Sid's size, I don't think he's a part of that particular. He's a part of some Martin family.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's a part of the Martin family you thinking about.
No.
All right. Okay. And they can say that. The Hawthorne cheerleaders giving the business back to the Lawndale cheerleaders by saying scoreboard.
So Lopez is 1 out of 2. So the -0 is handed out to the Cougars by the Cardinals. And then look at the scoreboard.
And that's what they say. Because they know at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Whoa, in and out by Key, and somehow it's knocked up and in. Did he get the credit for the basket?
He'll get credit for it. And you like his energy. I mean, he has a presence on the court for a kid who hasn't played. And again, that's a reflection of Coach Marks and his coaching staff. They're working with the young man. And let's face it, every kid plays basketball. There's a difference between schoolyard basketball and gym basketball. And that's what they're trying to teach the kid, is gym basketball.
The 6'6" senior's never played before, but he's been playing somewhere, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Bryant, with his big old self, throws the ball out of bounds. Just too hard off the fingertips of Jalen Arnett. Gotta love Romeo, though.
Now, Romeo is Romeo on the football team?
Oh, yeah. I think he's a tight end.
Okay.
Believe it or not, he should have been the left half of the offensive line. I mean that in a respectful way.
Well, he's got the size. I
Yeah.
mean, that's, he's one of those type guys. You look at him and it begs the question.
And he was introduced to whoever number 20 is. Don't know who number 20 is on Hawthorne. And let's see, is he even on? Nope. Not on the Max Preps roster. 3-point shot taken by Arnett. That won't go down. Rebound is off to number 20. Mr. Cougar, we'll call him. Nice drive by Devin Chambers, and I believe he's going to earn a couple of shots at the line if he gets up. And getting up real slow is Jason Lopez. Let's watch the replay, Rufus.
Okay, movement that time. Lopez trying, that was Munoz rather. Who they give it? Okay, go back to, as you said, Lopez. Lopez trying to draw the foul, but clearly moved on that play. Air ball being shot by Chambers, and he laughs. He knows he's going to get it from the crowd, so he may as well go along with the joke.
Well, the only one who isn't laughing is Ben Warda. It's a good thing he made that one, or he might have had to walk home.
Right.
He has 1 point. 63 to 45, 45 seconds left to play. Ortiz has it. Stolen away by Ortiz. So it was Lopez that had it, and Ortiz's shot won't go down, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Cardinal ball.
So, with 33 seconds left, Hawthorne has come in. First of all, they've regrouped and recovered from a bad whipping that they took the other night at the hands of the losing Olympians. They regroup though, and they come in and get a big win tonight, Lou.
Ricky Calderon is number 20. In the meantime, Marcus Millen continues his terrific fourth quarter, has a half a dozen points. 5 seconds left to go on this one, and Rufus, you can turn this scorecard over and endorse the back of this one for the Hawthorne Cougars, who earn a 63 to 47 win over the Lawndale Cardinals and get a little back from what they didn't get done on Tuesday night.
They absolutely did, Lou, and another big quarter for them. Boy, they outscore Lawndale, even though Lawndale played a very competitive quarter by a score of 20 to 13. Actually, the one quarter in the game, Lou, that made a difference was the third quarter. If you look at the game overall, first quarter, Hawthorne only outscored them by 4. Okay, then we come to the second quarter, and it's a 17 to 15 quarter. They outscore them by 2. That third quarter, when they outscored them by 10 to 3, is what made the difference, because in this quarter it was a 20 to 17. And I think that's the way Coach Marks is going to need to break it down to his team to help them appreciate that even though the scoreboard shows it as a 16-point defeat, that actually they were competitive for 3 quarters. It was the third quarter that really cost them.
And both teams meet at center courts and shake hands, and that's always good. This is getting to be a new kind of a tradition now in football, or basketball. It's been there for football, but now for basketball they are doing the same thing, meeting at center court. And Rashawn Haylock and Sebastian Spencer will be getting us post-game guests. As a matter of fact, we're almost getting ready for the Rashawn Haylock with one of the players of the game. We're going to have to decide that's for sure. As the Hawthorne Cougars improve to 11-6, the Lawndale Cardinals drop to 7-9, and try to get back on the winning track as the Hawthorne Cougars did. They've been pretty impressive this year with 11 wins in the preseason.
They have been, and now for both teams, this is where the fun starts. It starts with league competition. If you're the Hawthorne Cougars, that's the Ocean League, the likes of Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, and other teams, Inglewood, that make up that league. Patrick Roy's teams are always tough. And if you're Lawndale, you're in the Pioneer League, and you've got the Torrance schools, you've got North, you've got Torrance, you've got Centennial, and a couple other schools. So this is where your playoff run starts. Nice preseason, you challenge yourself. You played aggressive schedules in many cases, but now you got to play league ball if you want to make it to the playoffs.
And right now, let's go to Rashawn.
You're picking up more of the scoring load. Last year was AJ. How do you feel about this year's team and you being in this role?
I was just thinking that I have to be the leader of the team. I've been on varsity 4 years, so I got a lot of experience, so I just have to pick it up from there.
How important was this for you guys tonight as you get ready to get in the Ocean League play?
Yeah, we had a tough loss last night to Lawndale, and we had to make it up tonight. Kind of came out here dominated, so get ready to go in the league against Beverly Hills and do the same thing.
Coach talked about it a little bit. We were talking to him before the game. He said you guys kind of just wanted to get that bitter taste out of your mouth after what happened to losing earlier this week. Did you have a little extra motivation, and do you think you got it all out tonight?
Yeah, I had an extra, I missed a lot of free throws last night, so I had to come back and do it, improve myself tonight.
And what do you think is going to be key for this team going forward?
Just playing hard, making shots, playing defense, and limiting our turnovers.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate the time. That's Miles Green. Took it a little bit easy on Lawndale tonight. Just 15 points. This is a man that scored over 29 times this year, and he scored over 33 times this year. Guys, I'm going to grab Coach Wardrop in a sec. Right now, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Rashawn. And with one of the probable players of the game, Miles Green, who had 18 points, just 2 off of his season mark, but was in foul trouble in the first half, had 4 fouls, and had to go on from there. And leading the way for the Cardinals, it was Roland Pearsall with 14 points, and that was all in the first half, and then came up, re-sprained his ankle in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. Pearsall had the great first half where you thought he was just going to explode. Good player. Shows, but he wasn't able to sustain it over 2 quarters, and then the ankle injury, which we all hope. And I'm sure whether you're a fan of Hawthorne or Lawndale, you certainly hope that the kid's going to be well and ready to play come next Tuesday night.
Now let's go back to Rashawn.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I'm here with the winning coach, Coach Ben Wardrop. Coach, hey, we talked about it a little bit before the game about how you just kind of wanted to get that bitter taste out of your mouth after earlier this week against losing. How was practice leading up to this game tonight?
You know, the last 2 days were good. We had really good practices, and we got after each other. We had a hard time after that losing your loss. You know, we were thinking we didn't play well. We weren't doing the things that we wanted to do. But after reviewing some tape and doing some soul searching, we realized, you know, we were doing the right things. Losinger played a good game. They beat us, and we just need to have trust in the things that we do and know that they're going to work down the road. And we put it together tonight. We did. I'm proud of the boys. They did a good job.
What happened at halftime? You guys were close during the first half, but third quarter you guys really opened it up. What happened? What did you tell the guys at the half?
It was the defensive end of the floor. We were getting good looks. We missed a few shots in that first half, but we shot the ball pretty well. But it was really all about that defensive end of the floor. I don't know what we held them to in the second half, but it was under 20 points, I believe. They were at 27, and I don't know what they ended up at 43 or something like that. So it's around 16, 18 points for the whole second half. So we really committed ourselves to that defensive end of the floor, make them hit a tough shot from 18, 20 feet with a hand in the face, keep them out of that key, and we did a good job of it.
Let's talk about the offensive end for a little bit. To me, it looked like you guys did a good job of executing your sets. You ran your stuff well for the most part tonight. How much emphasis do you put on that, and what did you think about the overall execution?
It's been the best so far this year. That's one thing that we were concentrating a lot in practice. You know, we had to get better at running our stuff. We had guys that weren't doing their job, weren't filling their role. And after doing a little bit of fine-tuning and a little bit of detail work in practice, we did a much better job of execution tonight, and you could see by our performance.
And lastly, Ocean League play starting. You're going to go up against the likes of Beverly Hills and Inglewood, Morningside. What's your thought about this, and how big was this going into league play?
It's been a good week because, you know, 2 really intense games preparing for league, 2 rivals. So the kids that feel like they're already in league play, you know, after Losinger and Lawndale this week. And it's always good to go off of a win in the league. And we're ready to get at it because we've been counting down to league ever since the season ended last February 17th. You know, we had one goal. We got to be successful in league and take care of business. Everything we've been doing before that is preparation. We're really happy we won today, but it's all about performing starting on Wednesday versus Beverly Hills.
Hey, thanks a lot, Coach, for the time. Congratulations on the win. That's Coach Ben Wardrop. Going into league play, Hawthorne coming up with the big win here tonight in the crosstown rivalry here at Lawndale, guys.
Thank you very much, Rashawn, and congratulations to Coach Ben Wardrop and the Hawthorne Cougars with their big 63-47 win over the Lawndale Cardinals, and kind of get a split, I guess you could say, here in the crosstown rivalry.
They did. It went 1-1, lost a tough one on Tuesday night to Losinger, but come back on Friday night and avenge that loss with a win over the other crosstown rival, the Lawndale Cardinal team that's up and coming. So what we saw in seeing the 3 teams, which was good. You know, I like the fact that we started the season. We got to look at everybody, the guys that we're going to be covering, the rest of the way fans, and you're going to see some interesting ball along the way. You've got the Olympian team, which again, in a new squad, but with some old faces. Marshawn McMahon and Howard Robinson Jr. leading that squad, and they're showing themselves to be competitive. I think, folks, they're going to be a little bit better than I think maybe some folks in the Bay League thought they were going to be.
Well, they showed me something on Tuesday night.
This Hawthorne Cougar team tonight. Miles Green had the tough night on Tuesday night. Came out tonight, made a much better showing, even though he had a lot of foul trouble. He and this Cougar team showing that they're going to be competitive, and I think you can look at them as a potential playoff team come about 4 weeks from now.
And the free throws, 12 out of 18 were the Cougars in tonight's game.
That's a vast improvement. And then that leaves, of course, the young, inexperienced, but coming along Lawndale Cardinals. And I must admit, I was impressed, Matt, with their effort. They
Absolutely.
did not wilt. As I mentioned before, fans, you heard me say they only lost one quarter in this game that made it look as lopsided as it does. But beyond that, they played a good basketball game. Let's hope Pearsall gets well and he's ready to start Pioneer League competition next week.
Absolutely. Chris Munoz had a poor night shooting, only had 5 points the entire night. He's the leading scorer, averages 16 a game. Rufus mentioned the 3 points third quarter. It was also an 8-0 run in the second quarter put on by the Hawthorne Cougars when the score was 23-22 and the Cardinals wouldn't go away. And that 8-0 run made it stretch out in a little more comfort zone for the Cougars to go on to win.
Exactly, and that's what it was. It was a game of runs for the Cougars, and even in the fourth quarter, when they finally pulled away from them a little bit, Lawndale did respond with a brief run of their own, but by then they were too far down to make it the kind of game that they wanted to make in terms of catching a break here and there. The other thing we talked about, and I like the kids, you guys who are on this Lawndale team who haven't played a whole lot of organized basketball, you looked good out there.
That's
I
right.
hope you're watching and hearing what we're seeing. You actually looked good. Just keep working at it, keep practicing at it, and nothing but good things are going to happen for your team, especially the big 6'6" guy. Well, both of you are two big
That's
men
right.
with
Eric,
limited experience.
Aaron Key and Romeo Bryant. I tease Romeo because I love him.
Right. Well, I can tell you, guys, both of you, just keep working at it, and you're going to do your team a lot of good.
Let's go to Rashawn and Sebastian for some final thoughts.
Sebastian Spencer joins me now, guys. Kind of twofold. Both these teams, of course, in our coverage area. It was a game for this young Lawndale team in which they hung in there in the first half, but you saw that kind of inexperience kind of show its way out here in this second half. And Sebastian, big win for Hawthorne as they enter Ocean League play. What did you notice from them tonight as opposed to what you saw covering these guys the other night against Lusinger?
What I saw is a team that was, very ready and came out ready to play tonight. And, another thing I can say about Hawthorne is that their team is very reliable. You notice that when they're starring, Miles Green went out, their team was able to keep their composure and keep that league up the whole game. You can see this team has a lot of depth, all the way down from the point guard, Brandon Hood, to JaCoy Clark. Those guys played major for them tonight while Miles was out.
Yeah, that's a great point. Part of that big run that they went on that third and fourth quarter, Miles Green was on the bench for a good portion of that time. What does that say to you about this team and their depth?
It says that I believe that they trust each other and they can get it done with or without their star player, which is the key concept of team. And as you can see, Hawthorne proved it tonight that they're not just a one-man team. They can play together.
Yeah, we've been watching Coach Glenn Marks for Lawndale the past couple of years. I remember his days back at Miracosta. I recall him being somewhat brash. Tonight it was a little bit different. He's a little bit more cerebral. He talked about this young, inexperienced team. He was more willing to give compliments, more willing to pat guys on the back. As even after that layup attempt that they had earlier that went wrong in the third quarter, most coaches will blow up their go off in the huddle during the timeout, but he's been very encouraging tonight. I think that's key for him and this young team. Chris Munoz, leading scorer on the team tonight, our leading scorer on the team for the season. Tonight, not so much. Roland Pearsall kind of had to carry the load for Lawndale tonight, and we saw him go out with that ankle injury. It'd be interesting to see how long he'll be out with that injury because no doubt going forward, they're definitely going to need his services, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Rashawn Haylock. Good points and a good job by you as well as Sebastian Spencer. And, boy, this is going to be a nice crew to work with this year as well. Not that it always isn't. I mean, you got Rufus Washington with a generation under his belt here. And it's going to be a terrific season to watch all three of these teams, especially all three teams are at different stages of growth in their programs.
Exactly. And league play is fun because everybody knows everybody. So they play a little bit different than what you see when you see the non-league competition. A lot of teams you play first time seeing them, or maybe you saw them in summer league and some of the guys aren't there. But now, tell you what, every team in each of the three leagues that we cover, Bay, Ocean, and Pioneer, the BOP, all right, everybody knows everybody, and it's going to be some exciting basketball.
That's right, and the Lawndale Cardinals will go to El Segundo, tip off their Pioneer League season, and the Ocean League tips off with Beverly Hills at Beverly Hills, so they're fancying it up. They're going to the uptown there. The Hawthorne takes on the Greg Townsend Jr. and Beverly Hills. Now, Townsend Jr., I think he just committed to USC, did he?
Yeah.
USC,
yeah.
That's right.
As reported in the local newspaper.
That's right. So we'll congratulate him and his dad if he shows up to one of these games. So,
and which I didn't know, his dad went to Texas Christian, which won the Rose Bowl.
That's right. So a little bit of kind of a roundabout way here. And it's a small world after all. And speaking of small world, it's time to pick our Channel 22 Sports Player of the Game as players of the game, because both of these teams are our guys. And Roland Pearsall had to carry much of the load, as Chris Munoz only had 5 points, as pointed out by Rashawn Haylock. And Roland went out with that ankle, and he gets 1 point under his season average at 14 points. And
he played a good game. I think when you look at it as a whole, there's not anyone else tonight whose performance tonight matched his. So
want to give I do want to give a kudos to Marcus Millen, who really looked good in the fourth quarter, taking over for Roland Pearsall. And because of Pearsall's injury, Millen got some playing time and really did well.
He did very well. I think he may have earned himself some more playing time in the next game.
Absolutely. And on the other side of the ball, you have Brandon Hood, kind of had to take over for Miles Green, who got in that foul trouble, and he had 10 points. But I also like the way that Chris Ogwike played tonight. He had 10 points as well.
And that's where my toss-up was as well, Lou. Same two guys. I got to tell you, I think only because he's coming on and he actually was pretty compared to the last game, let's give him a little bit of inspiration. We know what Brandon Hood can do. He showed us that before. Ogwike, I think if we make him the player of the game, man, next time that's going to inspire him. He's going to know, because when you're the Channel 22 player of the game, there's a huge burden placed on you. People expect you when you show up in the gym.
It's like being the exalted ruler around town.
There you are.
Doors open.
How about Ogwike then?
Okay, all right.
All right.
With 10 points, the grand poobah of tonight's game, number 21, Chris Ogwike. That's Ogwike.
Okay.
That's the talk to Ben Ward up, and the first thing he said to me is Ogwike. And so we went on this little thing. It's like, how many vowels? You got to buy a vowel to get this.
Okay. Well,
Chris Ogwike.
See, bam, we got it
That's
together.
Right. The exalted ruler of the Channel 22 Sports Player of the Game. Also want to congratulate Roland Pearsall. He is our co-player of the game tonight. So, well, any more thoughts before we put a ribbon on this one?
All we got is next week, baby. It's time to get it on.
All right. Well, we will see you next week. We'll put the ribbon on this one, put this up on the shelf, and want to remind you once again from Lawndale High School, for Rufus Washington, Sebastian Spencer, and Rashawn Haylock. And, I just want to say one thing. Tom Strickfaden hasn't told anybody else this, but he's told us all this, is that he won another Star Award for Best Production of an athletic event on cable television. And I want to congratulate him. Tom's trying to spread the love, but he's the one who did all the work.
Absolutely.
So it's his award, because he ain't going to give it up.
But he's been doing it for a long time, and I've said this before, and a part of what the work that Tom does in this and that Channel 22 does is just a wonderful service to the Lawndale Hawthorne community.
To the whole South Bay.
It truly is.
And other people get phone calls that have other types of systems in their homes, and they do see our games all around the Southland on certain channels, depending on what type of system they have. So that's really a congratulations to Tom. I've only seen pictures of it. I haven't seen the real thing.
Well, we are the real thing. We're here.
That's
we
it.
Get to live and breathe it twice a week at least.
That's right. And we're going to take the rest of the night off after I tell you the final score from the Cardinals' nest inside Lawndale High School. The final score, the Hawthorne Cougars 63 and the Lawndale Cardinals 47. Until next week, so long.